let's head into the NFL, Dave. Let's talk a little bit Lions, Saints. Lions coming off the heartbreaker on Thanksgiving Day, and I say heartbreaker, it's a middle of the season game. I get it, but like the Thanksgiving game, everyone watches, so it feels like a little bit of a heartbreaker. On top of you lost to the Packers, which is an extra kick to the gut. Um, I think in that game, the secondary was really exposed, um, and they just didn't have an answer time after time. The tiny hand showed back up. He had a rough day. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you I was going to talk about this, so you don't have to drop ready. But Tiny Hands Goff came out, and it was just bad, Dave. And so I'll just let you go.
Look, I don't have the tiny hands drop ready. I thought we retired that last year. But look, I'm not overreacting to the Lions losing this game. I'm not. Yeah, sucks. You don't want to lose a divisional game, let alone on Thanksgiving and the national spotlight. Just was a stinker of a game. You're gonna have those. It's the NFL. Any given Sunday, I'm not too worried. What I am worried about, the defense is week by week falling further and further down in like confidence level for me, where like they went from being a strength to being like we may be good enough to being like this may be a liability. So yeah, I'm a little concerned about that defense. And the second thing I'm concerned about is the guy you just mentioned, and that would be Jared Goff. We cannot, this team, everything that I have said, that we have said about this team, their potential, what they can reach this year, look, it's all out of play if Jared Goff is a turnover machine and he's not reliable. You don't need Jared Goff to be Patrick Mahomes. It's not who he is. It's not what he's good at. He's been good at managing a football game, making the right throw, and when he does make a mistake, he bounces back from it. Brant, the turnovers he has had these last couple of weeks, it concerns me. It really, really does. And so, yeah, am I concerned about a loss to the Packers? No. But on a larger level, defense starting to seem like a liability, and I'm very concerned about Jared Goff and these turnovers, because if you've got a quarterback who turns over the ball like he has, you might as well kiss your playoff hopes goodbye.
Yeah, Dave. And let me ask you, because you said you weren't too concerned. Let me ask you if you're concerned about 4.5, them covering 4.5, going to New Orleans. I'll tell you, a place where you don't want a quarterback that has had some turnovers recently going into is a hornet's nest, like the Little Caesars Superdome or whatever it's called now, the Caesars Sports Arena, whatever. That place is absolutely rocking for every game. The Saints could suck, and that place is going to be 10 decibels, dude. Like, so I ask you this: do you see the Lions covering the 4.5 and getting some of their mojo back?
I do. I see a big bounce back game from the Lions. I think there is one guy in particular who's very comfortable playing in New Orleans, coaching in New Orleans, and that would be none other than your head coach, Dan Campbell. And I think he knows what that environment brings. He'll have these guys ready to play. And the other thing is, too, Brant, New Orleans is dinged up right now. They lost Michael Thomas. Surprise, he played like 4 games this year. But then you recently also lost Chris Olave last week. He goes out with a concussion. Haven't heard an update this week. I mean, it's early in the week right now. They're likely without him, I would guess. I don't think that offense is going to operate the same way. And their defense is good. Their defense could call. I mean, we're going to find out. We're going to find out about Jared Goff and these turnovers this weekend. Although not a great defense, a good defense, and in that environment, like you said, they're even better. But all that being said, I expect a big bounce back game from the Lions. I see them moving to 9-3 and getting the train back on the tracks. What about you?
Yeah, I see that you mentioned that Olave and Thomas are out. Couple of Buckeyes, Charmin soft. Um, listen, this this is troublesome for me. I think this game is close. I think that the Saints are playing for their division. Dave, if you're not aware, the NFC South, I know you know it's a train wreck. But listen, the Saints are right on the verge of being in the lead for that division. If they get this one, they will be leading the NFC South. Um, and the Lions are shaky right now, man. And I don't like where this team is at in the secondary. The Saints do a bunch of weird stuff with Taysom Hill. Like, it's a bunch of different packages. They use Kamara in such odd ways, that really it's tough to prepare for. I'll put it that way. I like the Saints with the 4.5. I do like the Lions to make this a close game, but I'll take the Saints outright on top of the 4.5. So just give me